Many Africans have suffered under the brutal hands of European colonialism. However, some Africans resisted colonial rule to their last breath. In today's video, we shall be looking at the untold story of a king who defied the British colonialists and their superior weaponry with just 800 men. Sekhukhune. I was born in the late 18th century in a small village called Malubeng near present-day Pretoria in South Africa. At the time, South Africa was a Dutch colony known as Cape Colony. When Sekhukhune was still a young boy, his father, Sekhukhune, the chief of the Bapedi people, died, and he took over the role of the chief at a very young age. Under his leadership, the Bapedi people thrived and their numbers grew significantly. This attracted the attention of the Voortrekkers, a group of Dutch settlers who were migrating to the interior of South Africa. The Voortrekkers wanted to establish their own Boer republics independent of British rule, and they began encroaching on Pedi land, forcing the Pedis to move further into the interior. This led to tensions between the two groups and eventually erupted into violence. Sekhukhune's warriors were no match for the Voortrekkers' firearms, and so he had to retreat into the hills with his men. There, he regrouped and continued to resist the Voortrekkers using guerrilla tactics to harass them. Sekhukhune's resistance caught the attention of the British colonial authorities, who saw him as a threat to their rule. They had previously fought against the British in the Mfecane, and they knew that Sekhukhune could unite other African groups to fight against them. So they decided to eliminate him. In 1879, the British colonial forces, led by a man named Henry Locke, set out to capture Sekhukhune and his followers. Sekhukhune and his followers were surrounded and overwhelmed. But the king never surrendered. He fought to his last breath and was killed in battle. His head was cut off and taken to Pretoria as a warning to other Africans who might consider resisting British rule. The British also burnt down his kraal and killed or captured many of his followers. The rest fled into the hills, where they lived as refugees for many years. Sekhukhune's legacy of resistance lived on through his son, Sekhukhune, who continued to fight against the British colonial forces. Although he was eventually defeated, Sekhukhune is still remembered as a hero in South Africa. His statue stands in the South African capital of Pretoria, and there is even a major airport named after him. Most people know about the great empires of Africa, like the empires of the Zulu kingdom of Shaka Zulu, or the great kingdom of the Ashanti Empire of Yasantua. However, few people know about the small kingdoms and chiefs who resisted colonialism. People like Sekhukhune, although lesser known, played an important role in resisting colonialism in their own way. Colonialism was a horrible period in world history, but the heroic deeds of people like Sekhukhune will never be forgotten. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel to get notified whenever we post a new video. Once again, thank you for watching.